Bit of a delay there. It'll be fine.
Anxiety.
Right.
All right, boys.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
I mean, bit of a different one this week. As you may have picked up, we're usually in the state-of-the-art podcast studio, which we've discussed before, but we are all on
this COVID
Zoom.
Pandemic. Has
Yeah,
forced
yeah.
us-
This COVID, the COVID's come back, but we are all in the same room on different screens, which is I don't think I've ever seen a podcast do that before, where they're all in the same room but they're all on 3 screens. I think that's unique.
I thought we were pretending we were in different places.
No.
Okay, we're letting people
run with it.
behind the curtain.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious. You can see the on-air sign behind Dan and the on-air sign behind you, unless you were in 2 different radio
We could be in 2
studios that looked
different,
identical.
studios, yeah.
Yeah, we're not that way inclined, really. We don't. Does that mean?
Can we do the slogan one at a time?
What slogan?
Improvise.
Adapt.
Overcome.
Nice.
That is the mantra of this podcast. No, it's not. It's Finding Millennialsman. How are we, boys? Had a good week?
Yeah, brilliant week.
Yeah, it's been a busy one, but
You might be wondering why we are in the same room recorded on 3 different screens. Basically, there was a issue with the cameras.
The right fucking balls up on it.
Right, yeah, it was a right fucking balls up.
always press record.
But we are committed to getting content out there in any which way we can. So we are cracking on. So first feature of this week that we are going to do, we're going to do something different. Do you remember the game Top Trumps?
I remember,
Yeah, very 2000s. What versions did you guys have?
I've had a rugby one before.
Yeah.
And probably some sort of Disney,
Disney?
Yeah,
What,
probably.
What, princesses? Or
No, not quite
there's nothing wrong with
Rapunzel
that.
and Snow White.
Yeah.
No.
Disney characters?
Yeah,
or
something like that. Probably. I can't
Mickey
remember.
Mouse, Donald
Oh,
Duck?
I don't know. Nah, maybe more Lion King. Was that? Yeah. Oh, fuck. I might be talking bollocks now. I don't know.
How many
usually do.
lions
Yeah, I
were
feel
there?
There's Simba,
Yeah,
the other one.
How different can their ratings be? I had Lord of the Rings as well as a cricket.
This is going to go down as like a lead balloon probably, but I think I've seen The Lion King, but I cannot remember it. If I have seen
No,
it,
it's one of my favourite films.
I think and it's like one of those things where it goes, babe, you haven't seen The Lion King?
Yeah,
Like,
obviously.
I think I have, but I can't really remember.
I don't know what to do with that information. I'm tempted to walk out.
Well, you're going to stay here because I'm paying you.
Yeah.
Paying you in beer.
In
Off the pod, obviously.
after the pod.
Definitely. So we are going to do our own version of Top Trumps. We're going to rate out of 100 these different sports people from the 2000s. And we're going to do it in 4 different categories. So the first one I've got is dominance. So their achievements, how dominant they were in their sport. For example, Phil Taylor in darts, 16 world titles, way more than anyone else. Completely dominant. Whereas Steven Gerrard, although he was a great player, didn't really win much, so he might score lower on the dominance. Then iconography. So this is going to be influenced by how popular the sport is, how the person's viewed globally, and like anything that makes them unique. So they might not even be that good. They might have something that makes them unique and iconic. Influence. So this is the influence they've had on the sport. Have they changed the way it's played? Have they brought new tactics in? Have they forced opponents to change the way they play? Stuff like that. And then just vibes. So personality, character, their aura, or if they're bad vibes as well. So I've got 4 people here and we'll go around and we'll rate them out of 100. So the first person I've got, we're starting really strong, is Tiger Woods. What are we thinking, boys, dominance-wise?
You just put your hand up.
Yeah, because I want to speak. Sorry. Dominance. Golf is a tough one in dominate, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be.
Because
the tournaments are so big, aren't they?
And you won't see someone, like, if you look at a tennis player, raking up 4 Grand Slams in a year, like, in golf, and it's a bit different.
It's rare. I mean, Tiger had a good stab at it, didn't he? I mean, throughout the 2000s, he was completely. Well, he was dominant. Whether he was really dominant is a point for discussion. But
It felt like he was head and shoulders above anyone else at that time.
Yeah.
Like now you have the Masters and you don't really know who's going to win, but it felt then like the Masters was almost Woods to lose, and some of the other ones as well. So,
I mean, he was dominant, wasn't he? He's got 15 major wins. He's won the Masters 5 times. He's won the PGA Championship 4 times. He's won the US Open 4 times and the Open Championship 4 times. So all but 2 of those coming in the 2000s. So he was really, really dominant in that period. I'm thinking got to be in the 80s.
82, I'd say.
82 or well,
I'd push up to 84.
I think it's even higher.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, if we're being strict on the era of the millennial, which we've not been previously, but if we are being strict, and you're saying all but 2 of them came in, you know, I guess it's how many did he not win in that time?
Well, not that many. He didn't not win. So, should we go 84? I would say like more towards then, 86, 80.
Okay. I'm happy with that.
Let's go 84 for Tiger. 84. So iconography. So this is how they're viewed globally. I mean, he is really, really iconic, isn't he? He's the most famous golfer there's ever been.
Yeah, definitely in the high 90s.
TW cap, the TW brand. He kind of transformed night golf as well. I don't think they were a massive player in golf at the time. And yeah, I think he had the golf game nicknamed after him as well, didn't he? I mean, you have to be some player if you're getting the golf name nicked after the golf game named after you. So, what are we thinking on this?
I should have made that point.
93.
93.
Yeah, 90. Go on 93. Yeah, I'm feeling that.
Does his kind of cheating scandals and all of that take away from this slightly, or are we moving that into the vibe section of it? Do you think?
I'd say he's
just playing devil's advocate.
Stick to the sport.
Stick to the sport.
Yeah.
Don't bring politics.
No, don't bring politics into this.
Yeah, well, who are you, Simon Jordan? I'd agree. I think the sport takes over. I think he's the most recognisable golfer there's ever been. And his name as well, isn't it? Tiger. That's just an iconic name as well. So,
yeah.
And Woods.
Will, are you happy? I'm happy with it.
Oh yeah. Well, apparently Woods. With the golf.
I'm happy with 93.
Yeah, 93. Let's go with 93.
93 for Tiger. Influence.
I'm sure someone said that to me before, actually.
Oh.
Influence. What we saying on this? I mean, I don't really know about
has he influenced
of golf and stuff.
Men to cheat on their wives.
Well, I guess he
hasn't influenced me to cheat on my wife anyway, even though I haven't got one.
A wife to do that, mate.
Yeah.
Maybe
if I ever do cheat on my wife, I'll just blame it on Tiger Woods.
Yeah. He influenced me.
Yeah, it's such an inspiration.
Influence.
Well, surely the Nike bit.
Yeah,
that's influence.
And also, this could come down maybe influence as well. But you know when you see people like putting videos of them in like driving ranges.
Yeah.
What's the caption they always put?
Tiger.
About that other person? It's Tiger Woods, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't see someone like...
Has that influenced the sport greatly, though? People on driving ranges,
I don't know,
pretending to be Tiger Woods.
Brings in money for these golf clubs.
And for Top Golf. And other ranges are available. I think this has to be lower than iconography. Okay. I'm thinking around 80-ish for this, maybe even lower. I just don't know enough about how he's changed the style of golf and how his opponents adapted to him. Maybe somebody who knows golf a little bit better.
And also maybe as well if you put influence on how people play. Golf is really hard, and I don't think the way his style of play you can really teach to other people, if you get me.
Well, you see it now. I think the guys now like Dustin Johnson and Bryson DeChambeau, there's more of an influence on them putting more work in the gym and working on themselves physically so they can hit the ball longer. I mean, Bryson DeChambeau and Dustin Johnson are some of the longest ball hitters in golf, and I think obviously Tiger's was able to hit the long ball, but it was his all-around game, wasn't it, that made him great. And I think maybe they've changed the game in that way a little bit more than Tiger. So what are we thinking for that one?
Well, you said 80. I'm happy with 80.
Yeah.
Yeah. 80 for Tiger. And vibes.
High.
He's probably
Do you think
a
so?
bit of a vibey guy, isn't he? I don't know. He's a bit of
He
a,
does,
Or a
but-
golfer. Oh,
yeah.
this is the thing. Are we rating it out of 100 compared to other golfers? Because he had way more
we're
vibes. than anything on
against every
If it-
sports.
Okay, then he's a golfer. So 50.
That's low. He's more vibey
All
than
right.
that.
I'll allow him a 60.
He challenges
Allow it.
journalists. He challenges journalists quite a lot, doesn't he? Sometimes if they ask a stupid question, he'll give them a stupid answer. He won't just be that kind of media trained guy. He knows who he is. He knows what he's done in the game. But does that kind of cheating scandal take away from that a little bit?
no.
No.
Depends whether you consider cheating to be vibey.
I don't.
Dan?
I'm not saying no. That's completely wrong. I am not saying that his cheating should add to his vibes. I don't. I'm only thinking, does it take away?
Is he a vibey
I'm
bloke?
not condoning
No,
him
I
cheating
think
on his wife.
he is slightly miserable.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
sure up, son.
60.
Yeah.
60.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
You
fine.
pushed me up from 50. I'm not going higher than 60.
Next, we've got Roger Federer. What are we thinking?
What was his first thing? Sorry.
Dominance.
Dominance.
For Roger
Ooh.
Federer.
Well, it's between him.
I
and
thought you said
in
what
the-
was his first name. That's why
So
I
did
laughed.
I. I just said it.
in the noughties.
Yeah, he was like 8 Wimbledons on the bounce almost. He was completely dominant in everything bar the French Open for
Yeah.
a lot of his career.
But he did share that with Nadal and then later on Djokovic.
Yeah, but
did-
Djokovic was
later
more in
on.
the 2010s, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I am sort of carrying into that. I mean, Djokovic started probably really, really competing with those two around 2009, 2010-ish, around that time, wasn't it? I
Yeah.
think.
I think he raised the bar though in a way that no one had done to that extent before. And had he not, I suppose it's that relevant. I was about to say, had Nadal and Djokovic not come along, he would just have won everything for 20 years.
Yeah.
but they did. So
Yeah, I think he
cut that point out.
I think he's high 80s at least, if not 90.
more than 84, more than Tiger
Oh,
Woods.
yeah.
I don't know if he could be more than Tiger Woods. Do you reckon?
I would say so. I'm going to push for an
Okay.
89.
All right. 89.
Right on
Wow.
the cusp.
Dan?
Yeah, I'd agree with that one. 89.
89.
Cheers, Dan.
Okay.
Appreciate
All
that,
right.
mate.
89 it is.
He didn't want that.
For Big Rog. Really. Next one, iconography.
Oh, he's 95.
Yeah.
He's an icon.
He is a brand. He's a logo. He's a brand. He's a way of being.
He's a human being.
Yeah, he's viewed as is he viewed as the GOAT around the world of tennis?
I'd
I
say
think
so.
It's difficult, isn't it? I think
I think the GOAT is Serena Williams, but
in
Yeah.
men's tennis then.
Yeah,
in
but-
men's tennis.
Yeah, I think in men's tennis, you'll never settle the GOAT debate between him and Nadal
Nadal.
and Djokovic in a way you'd never settle the Messi-Ronaldo one. I think, though, where away from football, most people would be able to, they would say their names equally. If you were to ask non-tennis fans, name a tennis player, male tennis player, they're going to go for Roger Federer over
First.
Nadal and Djokovic. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I'm afraid over wee Andy too.
What?
I said I'm afraid over wee Andy too.
All right.
Yeah. The whole bit.
Yeah, okay. Should we go around 88, 89 again, you think? Or does it have to be in the 90s?
I said 95.
Well,
91. I want to go into the 90s. on
okay,
this.
so we'll go in the middle, 93.
Yeah.
Cool.
Coolio.
93 for Rog. Okay, influence.
85? I'm just
Has,
going-
has it, like, have loads more people started playing tennis because of it? What the
It's
stats?
hard to say. It's hard to say.
You put
Bring
me
up
on
the
the spot
stats.
then. Just put me. I don't have the stats, Will. I don't.
I think
have
Andy
those
Murray's
stats.
influenced more British
AI
people.
is not that good yet. That you could just go. How many people have started playing tennis because of Roger
Would you
Federer?
trust it?
Yeah, sure. For the sake of this podcast,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I trust Wikipedia for this podcast. But yeah,
Yeah, he's influential. But
I think it's less than iconography, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of shared that that mantle, didn't he, with Nadal and then later Djokovic and to a certain extent Murray.
Yeah.
In that period, so they all 3/4 of them, I think, have been really influential as a collective, haven't they? But individually, less so. So what we said about 75? Are we pitching it around there?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
75. Yeah. Okay. And vibes.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's very. He is cool. He is cool.
Yeah.
And he's a nice guy.
He's chilled vibes, smart vibes.
Yeah.
Not like the Fijian rugby team vibes.
No.
Are they the
Correct.
opposite of smart chilled vibes?
Oh, they're just
No, party vibes.
party.
Party
vibes.
vibes. Party vibes. Don't know why I said that in an Aussie accent.
I wasn't sure if that was your Fijian.
Well,
Don't.
I've never.
Oh,
Yeah, we're not. We're going to avoid those muddy waters. Vibes. What are we going for? I think
60.
6. Yeah, he's a really nice guy, isn't he? But he's not quite like. Yeah, I don't know.
You wouldn't mind hanging with him for an afternoon, but you
Yeah.
wouldn't be going.
No,
let's
let's
have
go.
a night out.
He'd be very interested,
hit
but
the
I don't think he's a really good pint, if that makes sense. He'd be very
It's
interesting
not,
to
it's a tennis
talk
player,
to.
It's not a point.
So we're going. What are we going? 60.
60.
I had 60. I was pushing for 65.
Same
I'll
as
take
Tiger
60.
Woods.
Yeah.
I would push above Tiger
Above
61.
Tiger for vibes.
because Tiger got knocked down for his cheating, didn't he? And so, just as a lesson, he should be at least one behind Fed.
Yep.
So 61.
Agree. 61.
61.
Okay. The people have spoken. Next one is Thierry Henry. So dominance.
It's hard to dominate in football as it's not, as is a team sport, you know.
Let me
Well, it
pull up
can
my
be.
stats.
But
he won a
you
couple
know,
of
he's-
Premier Leagues,
yeah, and he's won Champions League,
3 maybe. Champions
won
League
Champions
with
League with
Barcelona,
Barca, yeah.
one final with Arsenal,
World
Obviously
Cup,
not with Arsenal.
or
98. Yeah,
World
I believe.
Cup in 98,
Yeah.
Euros in 2000.
Ballon
So he's-
d'Ors
he-
or no Ballon d'Ors?
No, he got
But
he got a second and a third.
he's in the
FIFA World
he's in the
Player of the
100
Year,
club.
I
Yeah.
seem to remember.
And when people talk about Premier League strikers or Premier League players, best players to play in the Premier League, full stop, he's always on people's lips, isn't he?
was
He's always in the
dominant at the time.
conversation. He's one of the most skillful, like really nice to watch players. Like, you know, I agree. I think dominance is hard to dominate in a team sport like football, especially in the Premier League where everyone is really, really good. Everyone's so good. There's not really. I know we've seen it down the years with Man City dominating as a team slightly, but even still now they're having a bit of a bumpy patch now, aren't they? There's no complete dominance. So, yeah, where are we pitching this then? Maybe high 60s, early 70s,
Early 70s.
Early
I'd say.
70s.
Definitely in the 70s.
72,
Yeah, 73 then.
74.
73. Iconography.
Oh, he's a French icon, isn't he?
He is quite iconic, isn't he? He's that I always go back to that clip of when was it Brendan Rodgers got sacked and he was in the studio and they broke the news live and Thierry Henry just touched Jamie Carragher's leg and the eyebrows went up and everything. Is such an iconic clip.
Yeah.
And now when he's on is it CBS, the coverage he's on with Michael Richards and Jamie Carragher now, they have a good laugh on that, don't they? And there's some iconic stuff out of that.
Yeah. I'd say he's number 2 in France.
Known as the King as well, King Henry.
King Henry.
Who would be number 1 in France?
Zizou.
Of course.
Zinedine Zidane.
I
think
don't
he's
know. I think
bigger.
you've asked a lot of French people. They'd say Thierry.
When did you last ask a French person?
I haven't. I tried to stay away from him.
Well, yeah, as we've just found out, mate.
Joking.
90?
Ooh, high. Where are you pitching it?
I've been pushing your scores up on you, Dan, but I'm gonna go a little bit further down. I'm gonna say 85.
I can meet, yeah. Deal.
88, I think.
Ooh. 87 and a half then.
No, no half. We don't do half measures. Influence. I think, again, he's very skillful, wasn't he? And he would have influenced a lot of young players to want to play up front. A lot of the players now, especially strikers now, would have grown up watching Thierry Henry, and a lot of them would cite him as their influences growing up, I think.
I would say, in terms of influence, he was on the cover of FIFA for like 3 years running.
Yeah.
He so from that point of view, like Ronaldinho was kind of similar. He's in that sort of category, and people like I was at school then. He was one of the players that kids were pretending they were on the playground, more so than Fabien Barthez. So,
what a rogue player to select as a comparison to Henry.
That World Cup.
An average goalkeeper against one of the best strikers of all time. Dan, what are you thinking? You thinking 90? Did you say that, or am I making that up?
Was that the last previous one?
Okay.
Influence.
It's been a long day.
Well, I reckon his influence has been like 70 something.
70?
Yeah,
ooh, I don't know about
78,
that.
I'd say.
Well?
He didn't influence me.
And at the end of the day, what else can you go on?
So you wrote then?
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. He didn't influence me, but about 78 out of 100.
He didn't butter my scone. Fuck off.
81.
81.
He's a striker. They're more influential than
they are. I'm gonna push it up to 85. I'm gonna push it up to 85. I tend to agree more with Will on that one. That it was towards the higher echelon.
That's fine by me.
Vibes.
Va voom.
Va voom. Those old Renault adverts.
Yeah.
He introduced.
Too young.
Did he come up with that term, or was it some?
It was probably
French
some
marketing.
exec,
Renault,
exactly.
But doesn't matter. He's the one who said it. So yeah, I totally agree. And he played with that Va voom, didn't he? That French team sort of played with that style in that period. And he is just vibey, isn't he? He's just. I think he's right up there.
Like the French.
Yeah, the French.
Yeah, he's already starting at minimum on a 50 just by being French, and then he becomes a footballer, then he's a striker, then the vavavoom, then his career.
He's pure vibes, isn't he?
Yeah, I think it's definitely in the 90s.
Yeah. 91.
91. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
I'm trying to remember how they say it in French because their words for 90s are so stupid. 420s, 10, 5.
Well, I'm not going to try and say it because I've already been roasted for my French on this pod.
95.
91. The next one I got is Michael Phelps. So dominance, I mean, most decorated Olympian of all time.
99.
First 99 we've had pitched.
Okay, well, the question because I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think if the fans want this to be a returning segment, we got to think about the implications of putting someone at 99. You can only go one above that. Are there? Can you
name other sports out there that someone's dominated it like he did? Mm-hmm. I can only think of Phil Taylor in darts when he was playing.
Wayne Gretzky would be pretty.
He would be fairly high up in
that.
hockey.
Yeah, and nobody's
anywhere near
his records.
Tom Brady in Super Bowl. In NFL.
Patrick Mahomes already has 3, so I think.
Yeah, but how many has Tom Brady got?
He's not as dominant as Michael Phelps, and obviously swimming is an individual sport as well. So
exactly,
he's got coaches and stuff, but he's done that himself. I think I would say maybe not 99, but I'm thinking 95, 96.
I think the only actually person maybe who could be as dominant as him is
Biles.
Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Although famously got sacked when he started. What he went on to achieve. I reckon
Phelps didn't win a gold on his 10th birthday, did he? So
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Michael Phelps wasn't built in a day.
No, he wasn't.
He was definitely built in a factory though. He was a machine. But I think 96, something around there. I'm reluctant 96. To go 99 because I think that is
97.
I was thinking 97 to be fair, but I was happy with 96.
Overruled. 97.
Overruled.
Iconography.
He's an icon in swimming, isn't he?
He is icon, and as the most decorated.
Okay, maybe
that photo that replaced the Spitz one. of Mark Spitz holding his 7 golds.
Yeah.
I'd say he's probably up there again, 90.
Yeah.
Swimming.
Well, if you if you
90.
say swimmer, he's people say him before Ledecky. They're going to say him before.
Any
Foster.
swimmer.
Is it Mark Foster?
Huh?
Mark Foster.
Yeah, Mark Foster.
Leon Marchand.
Ian Thorpe. Mark Foster.
Torpedo. Torpedo. So.
Eddie the Eagle. No, Ernie the Eagle. Eddie the Eagle ski jumper, isn't it?
Oh, wow. No, it's not Ernie the Eel. It's Eric the Eel. Eric Musambani from the Sydney
Eddie the
2000
Eagle, the famous swimmer.
I even fucked up my correction. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
even got that wrong. Sorry, was it Eric?
Eric Musambani.
Where was he from?
Equatorial Guinea.
Oh, wow.
The only
That is
Equatorial
knowledge.
Guinean swimmer.
Yes.
Ever.
Well, no, I'm sure. No.
Well,
But
in the Olympics.
the most famous one at the Olympics.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, iconography, I think, as the most decorated Olympian of all time, I think maybe...
90.
No, I wouldn't... No, that's too high. 90's too high. I think...
Yeah, if you were doing it just about swimmers, then absolutely, it's in the 90s. If you're doing it about sports people
But
in the world, like, is he selling
As I said
Speedos?
in the brief, this one is influenced by the popularity of the sport. I think if it was just swimming alone, he wouldn't be up there as much. But because he is the most decorated Olympian of all time, he's obviously won more medals than anyone at any sport in the Olympics. So that puts him up a little bit. I would say maybe high 70s, early 80s for this one, personally.
Ooh.
Just because swimming's not as popular as a sport
Yeah,
as
you're right there.
in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Obviously, the
80.
Olympics is really popular, but yeah, glad I've got my way on one of them. Influence.
I don't know about this one.
No?
I think it's low.
Yeah, I don't think he's that
No,
influential.
People don't really get influenced to swim. I don't know, that might be rubbish, but when you were in school, everyone would swim. You'd have swimming lessons, and if you were good, you'd go on and do it. It wouldn't be influenced by... And you can't really be influenced by a man who's been built in a factory.
Yeah, I mean, he is kind of one of a kind, isn't he? But was he the first one to kind of do this cup-in thing that they all seem to do? Something in my mind is like when they put the cups on them in, and they all come out with those marks.
Well, like
I don't know why they do it. Yeah,
Down the back, yeah.
What?
Down the back and stuff, and they light.
Oh, I thought that was the name of it, like Dan the Back or something. I think he's the first person I remember coming out with those marks on him. I think I heard something that he was kind of.
Did that influence you to try cupping?
No, but it's influenced other swimmers, isn't it?
Yeah, but do they still do it now?
Yeah, I think yeah.
I didn't see many
the last Olympics. Yeah.
At the Olympics this year.
Cheers, Dan. Yes, cheers offering your expert
I
opinion.
can't say. I didn't see anyone cupping.
I mean, yeah, what you've just laughed at is what I thought you were saying when you first said cupping.
Yeah, but the way you just said it is funny. Right. Okay. Well, where are we pitching this then? We need to crack
55.
55.
I'm happy with that.
Vibes. What are we saying on this one?
I don't want to be mean to the bloke.
I want to be really mean. No, I think he's like 50.
He's quite quiet, isn't he?
30?
I like the fact that he just gets on with it and he doesn't, doesn't look for the limelight or anything. He's obviously just dominated and just done his talking in the pool.
30.
But yeah, I think I wouldn't go. I don't know, go as low as 30 maybe, but
40.
Yeah, I'm struggling to do any more than
Happy?
that really. So 40. So let's total them up. Right, totaling them up, we've got Tiger Woods on
Quick
317, Roger Federer on 318, Thierry Henry on 337,
Okay.
and Michael Phelps on 272. So
Who
That's
would your
unexpected.
money have been on when you picked those 4 names? Who was your money on to win?
I'd
Because I wouldn't have had Thierry.
probably say Tiger Woods.
I would have
to be
said
honest.
Big Rog.
I'd
I
say
would have
Tiger
said Big
Woods.
Rog.
Yeah, I think
'Cause I thought it was 1 point between the two winners until you said Henry.
Tiger Woods was the first person I thought of when I did this. So maybe I'd been thinking about golf the other day anyway. But yeah, But moving on to
Grass. To Thierry.
No, we're not done with
Bravo.
that. We're not done with that.
Well, he's round 1 winner.
He's right. Well, it's not like that's not like a semi-final. We'll just total them up.
Semi-final.
So he's leading at the moment. He's
Cool.
leading at the moment on the leaderboard. Moving on to our Millennialsman. I will go first this week on this one. I have got a footballer that I think is one of the greatest ever to ever play the game. He is someone I saw my first ever football game that I went to. I went to watch Barcelona against Parma in the Millennium Stadium in a pre-season fixture in 2004, where Ronaldinho was playing when he was the best player in the world. He played for PSG, Barcelona, and AC Milan, amongst others. 97 caps for Brazil, scoring 33 goals. He was a World Cup winner in 2002, the only player to have won a World Cup, Copa America, Champions League, Copa Libertadores. Can't say that word.
Libertadores.
What?
Libertadores.
Confederations Cup and the Ballon d'Or as well. He was known for his flicks and tricks, which he grew up playing futsal when he was young, and his first brush of the media came when he was 13 after he scored 23 goals in a 23-0 win against a local team. And just to caveat all of that, he had obviously an exceptional career, and in 2011 had the absolute pleasure of being linked with Blackburn Rovers. Can you imagine if Ronaldinho... Blackburn Rovers. Yeah, it was a strong link as well. It wasn't just... I think it was
Fabrizio Romano, here we go kind of thing. Or
I think if Twitter had existed, or Fabrizio was on that back in the day, I think it would have been a here we go. But I think it was like when the Venky's took over and they were trying to make Blackburn
great
a big
again.
club. Yeah,
Well, they just like, we've won the Premier League, and he went, oh, they must be like United. And then he went on their Wikipedia page, and that's when the deal fell down.
We're coming to Blackburn. We're going to make Blackburn great. I can't do it.
Did try.
The Trump impression needs work.
I think he's more like... I know
than your Fijian accent.
Going away from the top Trumps, but I'd say he's more iconic than Ronaldo, as in the Brazilian Ronaldo. Yeah.
Yeah, as he's affectionately known now. But I think he's. We all talk about Messi and Ronaldo and the other Ronaldo and all those great players, Maradona, Pele. I think Ronaldinho gets forgotten about a lot.
Yeah, because he's in prison. He's a bad boy.
Unbelievable. He's not in prison,
bad
is he?
boy.
He has been.
It was a little
tax evasion.
Everyone does it, don't they?
We've all been there.
Cannavaro went in the vault, and he was tax evasion as well.
Yeah, I'm
a bit of a good link here.
I'm not looking for those favoured by HMRC. This is not a HMRC good boys.
If they run an audit on their spod day, we're screwed.
I wish we made money from it. We have to pay tax from it. But he was just absolutely unbelievable and just so good to watch. I mean, you must have loved him, Will, when he chipped David Seaman in 2002.
I thought this was going to be an age joke, and now I realise it's
I thought
that
was well,
No, I hated him, obviously, for obvious reasons. So did everyone in England. And then you just couldn't help but admire what an incredible player he was. And in terms of influence, to make an entire generation of goofy teeth kids feel like they could conquer the world, fair play to the lad. But
he's an icon for people with dental challenges all over the world. Dentally challenged kids all over the world. Is that's a term? That's another good term.
It is now. Put it in the vault.
I think that's the title of the episode. Dentally challenged. Sorry, go on. I interrupted you.
Well, I was just going to say, pretty sure he was sharing those front covers of FIFA with Thierry.
Yeah, he was, and FIFA Street as well, if I'm right.
Yeah.
Well, that futsal link, the way all the greatest Brazilians do it.
I actually played futsal for a bit. It was more, I think, isn't that meant to...
Can you imagine a giraffe playing futsal?
I was in goal.
The smaller goals, so you'd be useless in those goals.
Yeah,
I filled it. I filled it.
No, they got a bad back.
Not with his, not at his age. Not with them knees.
You're older than me. Stop saying my age. You're older than me. Dan, I'm going to come to you next. Who have you got?
So, Will, you're going to hate me for this one again. He did fuck you over in the World Cup final in 2007. Also had a stint at the Newport Gwent Dragons. The South African fullback, Percy Montgomery.
Oh, yes. What a goal kicker.
No, over 100 caps for South Africa. Had a boot like...
Boot like what?
I don't know, but yeah.
And a boot like, I don't know.
Like a Tiger
Boot like a
Woods
legger.
drive.
Yeah, boot like a legger. Yeah, but honestly, yeah, I remember
Boot like a legger.
because back then, like, it's free. We didn't have Sky, so I watch mainly rugby, and obviously the World Cup. Yeah. My first memory of the Rugby World Cup, and yeah, I just remember him.
Did you ever play that game on BBC Sport? And it was Kicking Kings, I think.
Kicking Kings.
Kicking Kings. Oh, what a game, mate! Like, who was on that? It was Montgomery was on that. I think Dan Carter,
Patterson.
I think it might. Wasn't it before Carter? I don't know. Maybe it was
around 2004ish, wasn't it? Maybe when he just got inside.
Patterson.
Neil Jenkins for Wales.
Yeah. Humphreys for Ireland because it was before Agara. Nicky Little for Fiji. That's my obligatory mention of Fiji.
Not the Fijian fat boy, no.
No, was he a fat boy or no?
No, not with that in him. Still a little.
Yeah. It would have been funny if he was, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, fair play. Shocker blonde hair.
Yeah.
Did it before Faf.
Yeah, I was going to say, it reminds me of Faf de Klerk now. But
my mum had a massive crush on him during that World Cup, I remember. And also, you got to be pretty good to be cool with the name Percy.
I was going to say, I think he's the only person I know with the name Percy.
Isn't there a Percy and Thomas the Tank Engine?
Yeah, the green
one in Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's a fucking cartoon train.
Yeah, I know, but with Percy and Thomas the Tank Engine and Percy and Harry Potter,
and
you're
pig.
Not going Percy
Pigs.
Oh,
the greatest sweets ever.
Cool.
No, isn't there a royal called Percy?
It might be someone's like
one of the royal families called Percy.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe like I don't know. We don't want to talk about the royals.
No.
Keep politics out of this, Salad.
That's not politics, isn't it?
Exactly is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Will, who have you got?
My one, after you two have dug the knife in and twisted it by going for people that knocked England out of World Cups, but of course there's lots to pick from there. I'd deliberately gone for something to cater to a Welsh audience. I'd gone for the Welsh hero from the 2005 Ashes, England and Wales's win over Australia, Simon Jones. When you look at how long his Test career actually was, it's very short because of injury, because of how powerful his bowling action was. But he just utterly dominated in that 2005 Ashes. We only won when he was playing, because he missed the 5th Test due to injury. Old Trafford one, we did draw as well, but he got 7, I think, in the first innings, including wickets of people like Clark, Ponting, Langer, Gilchrist.
Justin Langer.
Like, just phenomenal scalps. Yeah. And he was almost unplayable. His reverse swing, he was doing it before Jimmy came onto the scene. If he hadn't been so injury prone, he would have got so many more caps. He was top
deadly 60.
Deadly 60.
He was deadly 60.
What's the 60 coming in? 60.
You're obviously too old to remember the
program. No, I remember. I love Deadly 60.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He's deadly. It's just a saying, a deadly 60.
Okay. No, but I didn't know whether 60 came into it.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, because that's what the program is.
Yeah, he was so good, wasn't he? And I think he still plays in the South Wales League now. And imagine just rocking up and playing Simon Jones. I mean, I think he's 45-ish now, probably maybe even older, maybe closer to 50. And I think he's still sending them down at 80-odd mile an hour, I think, around the league around here. But I'm probably swinging it around corners as well. But yeah, as you said, he was an integral part of that 2005 Ashes win, wasn't he? And one of the only players that's from Wales who was played for England. So
unless you
one
can't
of
get Ryan Jones. Oh, one of. My bad.
One of.
And Robert Croft.
There's not been many, is there?
Has Robert Croft played for England?
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
In Tests as well, he definitely played ODIs.
Yeah, and he kind of, we talked about it a little bit last episode that back in the day there was that kind of that little bit of an old boys club with the England selectors, when they'd pick from Surrey and Middlesex and Yorkshire and Lancashire and all those traditional counties where Simon Jones was playing for Glamorgan, and to get a call up into the England squad from a county like Glamorgan meant that you're actually really good. So yeah, Simon Jones was absolutely great. Moving on to the quiz.
Yes.
Will, you are 2-0 down.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be a big week for you. We're going back.
I've got a funny feeling it is actually. I'm confident.
I don't know.
Are you? We're going to go back to the same format of the first week. to give you a chance to redeem yourself.
Yeah, because I did so well that first week.
So a reminder for everyone there. The lads are going to get a choice of an easy, medium, or hard question. For an easy, there's 1 point on offer, but if they get it wrong, they lose 3 points. Medium, you can gain 2 points, and you lose 2 if you get it wrong. And for a hard, you gain 3 points for a right answer and lose 1 point for a incorrect answer. So we've got 5 rounds again. They are the same. They are the same rounds as before, but I'm going to change up the order a little bit. So round 1 is on English football. Who went first? You had the choice last time, didn't you, Will? So Dan, would you like to go first or second?
First, then, please.
First, okay. Would you like an easy, medium, or hard question?
I'll go with it. What was it? English football.
English football, yeah.
Go for medium, please.
Medium, okay. Who plays their home games at the Pirelli Stadium?
Burton Albion.
Correct. Will, what would you like?
Actually, a hard question, that is.
I'm going to go easy.
Easy.
You're taking scores, yeah.
Yeah. Easy, okay. Which 2 teams contest the Steel City Derby?
That's going to be Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United.
Correct. 1 point to
Would I have got
Will.
a point if I'd said Sheffield and Sheffield?
What? That wouldn't have made any sense.
Oh, Sheffield.
That sounds like a legal firm, Sheffield and Sheffield. Second round is on the 2006 World Cup, so we're sticking with football. Dan, what would you like?
Easy, please.
Easy. Okay. Which famous England player broke his metatarsal before the tournament in a Premier League game against Chelsea? And you can steal if you 1 point on off.
It's between 2 players, but I'm going to go with David Beckham.
That is incorrect. Dan loses 3 points. Will?
Wayne Rooney.
Correct.
That was the other option. Oh, yeah.
Will gain.
But wasn't it that tournament? He
Hang on,
had
I've got vertigo.
Beckham was the one before. Well, and
yeah, but where? No, what?
Beckham did his metatarsal.
But what?
That was his ankle, wasn't
What
it?
tournament did?
Because they were like,
I thought it was the same.
They had one of those people who think they're like a voodoo person to do like a prayer for his ankle or
like
something.
A shaman.
Yeah. They tried to like splashed holy water on his ankle or something.
What tournament did Rooney get red carded after Ronaldo did it?
That tournament.
But
he nearly didn't make the tournament because
he did make it. But
it was completely rushed.
Yeah, and then he broke his metatarsal again on Ronaldo's balls.
Will, what would you like? Medium, okay. Which Portuguese goalkeeper saved 3 penalties in the quarter-final shootout against England?
Ricardo.
Correct.
I don't know why I did an Italian accent for that.
So Will has got 3 points from that round with the steal.
You know why I always remember that is our first landlord when I was a kid. His second name was Ricardo, and he was one of the most unpleasant men I'd ever met.
I think
Horrible bloke.
Ricardo was probably the best penalty saver I've ever seen. He was absolutely unreal at saving penalties.
Then we'd moved out of that flat, lived somewhere else. I'd forgotten about the bloke, and then we come to Euro 2004 quarterfinals in goal. Ricardo for Portugal screws us over that time, and 2 years later, the exact same thing. So yeah, it's a name that's like
it's a sticky one for you.
Just scratched into my soul.
Okay, round 3. We're going.
What are the scores at the moment?
Scores at the moment. Dan is on -1. Will is on 4. 3 rounds to go.
How much?
Because you lost 3 points for getting an easy wrong.
That's a disgrace.
Round 3 is on darts.
Hard.
Ooh, okay. How many people are currently in the PDC Hall of Fame?
I think this could be a new one. 5?
Incorrect. Will? I mean, just hazard a guess.
Yeah, that was going to be my tactic. 23.
No, I'm
301.
Somewhere in the middle. It's 18.
Oh, bloody hell, that's way off.
I was closer.
So that was a hard Dan.
Honorary point.
Loses
That's
-1.
bloody very hard.
Well, you went hard, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Will, what would you
Very
like?
easy, please.
Very easy.
Of those easiest ones, if you could pick the easiest.
Whose nickname is the Flying Scotsman?
Oh. I know it.
Of course you know it. You like darts. I don't give a shit about it. Luke Littler's the only one I know right now. And Virgil van Dijk, or whatever the Dutch bloke's called.
Incorrect, Dan.
Gary Anderson.
Correct.
What's that boat on the Pirates of the Caribbean? Flying Dutchman, that isn't it?
Oof, that's brought the
cat amongst the pigeons.
That's brought the scores back. Moving on to round 4, which is on the Heineken Cup. Both of you, I think. This is going to be an interesting round. Dan, what would you like?
What's the score? No, actually, don't tell me. Medium.
Medium, okay. In which city do Connaught play at home?
The benefit of having an Irish girlfriend. Galway City.
Correct. Will, what would you
plenty
like?
of other benefits, obviously.
No. Don't let that bit be in the final edit. Medium as well.
How many players have completed the Northern-Southern Hemisphere double, winning both the European Cup and Super Rugby? 10, 12 or 14?
12.
That is correct. Will gets
Well played.
Moving on to the last round. Right, what are the scores going into this last round? Let's have a look. 2 minus 1. Scores going into the final round. Dan is on 1. Will, you are on 3. Mystery round. Dan, what would you like?
Might as well go hard. I'll go home.
Hard? Okay. Yeah. How many of his 54 professional fights did Sonny Liston lose?
I have no idea who Sonny Liston is.
A boxer.
Yeah.
He's been a bad a bit.
I reckon 0.
The final answer?
That's final answer.
That is incorrect. Will?
43 fights.
54 fights.
Where did I get 43 from?
I have no idea.
54 fights. I'm going to say 3.
Could this be a trick question and B, he's never won a fight?
No, he definitely has one fight.
I don't think he would have made it to 54 fights.
He has won 50 fights, meaning he's lost 4.
Oh, that was my next answer.
So Dan loses 1 point. He's back down to 0.
Yeah.
Will, what would you like?
Easy.
I'll take it. I'll take a medium.
A medium, okay.
Are you on 2 or 3?
What am I on?
Oh, you're on 3. Yeah. Oh,
how many Super Bowls has Tom Brady won as a player?
We spoke about this earlier.
I mean, I already knew it was 7, but yeah.
It is 7.
6 of them were the
I'll give you a handshake through the camera. Well done.
Thank you.
So
good questions, Alan.
Final scores. Will finishes on 5. Dan finishes on 0. Will is this week's winner.
Well done, Will.
Finally, he's clawed one back after 2 disastrous weeks on the quiz.
I mean, let's be honest, my win there was not by the same margin that your wins have been, but I'll take it.
That's all we have got time for this week. I'm not going to do the gun finger thing again because
I'll do it. It's our last before Christmas.
Well, in our individual screens.
Yeah. Okay.
Ready?
Fine.
That's all we got time for. Thank you very much for listening. See ya.